Welcome everyone to another video tutorial. Today we'll be looking at event handler and event listener in JavaScript. First, what are event listeners and event handlers? Event handlers typically have names that begins with or on. For example, the event handler for the click event is onClick. To assign an event handler to an event associated with an HTML element, you can use an HTML attribute with the name of the event handler. An event listener will wait for any interaction on your website, then they will execute the code. Now I'm going to show you all these our practical class. Let's start. So let's create a button here so that will start our event handler. Let's create a button. So this button type button, give it a class of invisible. Yeah, I'm going to give this. Let me give this an ID of VTN. An ID of VTN. I'm going to give this button an event handler of onClick. Take note, remember I told you that what an event handler always start with onClick, on mouse over, on mouse up, on mouse down. So whenever you see on and one of the event, it means it is what an event handler. So what do you want this button to do? I want a situation whereby a user click on this button, then it should alert a message. So I'm going to just put alerts. Put alerts, just like you have clicked me. You have clicked me. Yeah, this is a message that will pop up whenever the user click this button. So let me just put submit here. Submit. Yes. So you can see this button. Let me comment this so that you get to understand what we're doing first. This is the event handler we want to do. Event handler. So if you look at the screen, you will see that this is a button type button. I gave it a class of invisible, an ID of btn. Then this is the event handler, the onClick event handler. Now whenever the user click this button, there should be a pop-up message that will alert you have clicked me. So I put this in the HTML tag as an attribute. So let's save this, then go to the browser, copy parts, and come over here, then paste this. Yeah, this is a button. So I click on submit. Just watch what will happen. You can see you have clicked me. You can see that whenever I click on this button, it's going to pop up a message, you have clicked me. So this is one of the ways of creating an event handler. So an event handler can also call a function. I repeat, an event handler in HTML can also call a function. Let's create another button. So let's create another button. Let me say, or let me just copy the button. That was too much time. Let me just copy this button and paste it somewhere here. So I want it to call a function. So instead of us writing alerts here, I'm going to write a function which I'm going to call. So I'll just come here and click in everything here. Then I'll just put let me just write anything. Show a function, show alerts. Okay. Yeah, this is a function. So on click, I want to call a function now. I want whenever they use the same thing this one is doing, the same thing this one will do, but this one I want to call a function with it. So show alert method. So I'm going to call that function, and the name of the function will be what? Show alert. So I'll go to my script, JavaScript, and put my function. The function name is show alert. So show alert. Then you do this. So what do you want this the button to do? So I want a situation whereby when the user click on the button, it should bring out a message also. So I'll just put alerts, then just write welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Yeah, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. So I'm going to save this, then go over to my browser, refresh the browser. I'll click this second button, and you see welcome to my world. So you can see it's welcome to my world. So it all depends on what you want to achieve. There are many ways to keep a bed. There are many methods you can use for an event handler. So the next one I want to talk about is the event listener. So let me just give this, let me comment it here, event listener. The event listener. Of course, you know that the event listener we wait for any interaction on your website, then it will execute the code. So to create an event listener, we have to add the add event listener. So you have to add that code. Now let's create an event listener. So let's create an event listener. Let's create our, I want to create an event listener. We have div ID here somewhere. Let me put the div ID down. So I'll copy this. Let me place it here. This div ID roots. So I want to create an event listener that will add an event to that ID root. So I will come over here. So let me just this variable. Let me say variable my event. Let me say variable my event. Documents dot get element by ID. Let me get element by ID. So what is the ID? The ID is roots. So let me show you the ID. This is the ID name roots. So I'm going to put roots here. Yeah, roots. Yeah, I have to append the variable my event to an event listener. So the event listener which you append your variable name is called the add event listener. So watch me. Dot the add event listener. This is the add event listener. We want to add our event listener, and this takes two parameters. This add event listener takes two parameters. The first is the type of event. Is it a click event? Is it a mouse event? Is it a double click event or a mouse down event? So let's open a bracket and put the two parameters. So the first one going to be, let me make it of the click parameter first. The click parameter. You can see on the screen, you see a lot of events. So the next one I want to put is my function, the name of my function. Now I want a situation whereby the user click on the button, then what this code in function executes. So the name of my function, let me give it any name. It's a btn function. That's the name of my btn function. Okay, so this one. So what this means is that I'm going to write a function now. I'm going to write a function here. I'm going to write a function. There's btn function. And then I'm going to put this. Open my curly brace. So what do you want the function to do? I want to add some text in my div class. So I'll just put in this div, I want to add some text here in this div ID root. So since I've already declared the document.get element by ID root, I'll just use the variable which is my event, my event dot inner. I hope you've not forgotten this inner, which is equal to, let's type some stuff. I want to just type this is my beloved son. This is my beloved son. This is my beloved son. Okay, this is what I want to do. So let's save this. Let me save this. Then let me use a button. I don't want to. Let me use a button instead of an ID. Let me use a button so that it's easy. Let me use a button. Let me use a button so I can click. So let me use a button. Button type. Then ID root. I want to make it to the root also. So let me just put click me as value, click me. So let's say this, then go to the browser, refresh the browser. You can see click me. If I click this, you can see this is my beloved son. You see that already? So that is how to do that. So it's very simple. You can see I change the button to this is my beloved son. So let me refresh it again, and so that you see it again. If I click this, it's going to change to this is my beloved son. So this is how you add event listener. You can also do some stuff here. You can also do some stuff like mouse over. You can put the mouse over events. So instead of using the event the click event, you can use the mouse over. Let's try the mouse over. So in the mouse over, I will not click, I will just place the mouse on it. It will definitely change. So if I place the mouse here, you can see it has changed to this is my beloved son, because I placed the mouse on it, I did not click it. So you can see that's what is called an event handler. So you can see we have numerous event handler. We have a click event, we have a mouse event, even keyboard event, submit event, a lot of them. So these are some of the things I want you to understand. So it's very, you can see it's very simple, very simple. So let us stop here. In our next class, I'm going to show you the timer, the timer events. Thank you very much.